Did you see red flags? If that's the case, you should just exit. Even if he fights for you, just exit that relationship. Like, it has nothing to do with him fighting to keep you, because yes, somebody could fight to keep you, but he also gave you so many reasons to walk away. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Adriana. Welcome. So today I'm going to be doing something completely different. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, and I finally decided to. I'm going to be reacting to relationship advice on TikTok. And so I'm not really a person who's on TikTok a lot, but recently I've been just going through it and seeing what's up, and there are some TikToks that definitely caught my attention that I'm going to be reacting to and sharing with you guys what my opinion is and my commentary. So if you like these types of videos, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. And also you can follow me on my Instagram, where I post lots of fun things, updates, and of inspiration. So go ahead and follow me there, and let's get started. So this one is a very short TikTok, but I thought it was a very interesting one. I really, you know what, I'm just gonna play it and we'll go from there.
Here's the thing. If you're not fighting to keep me, I'm not fighting to make you stay.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack with just that. It's a very short TikTok, but I just found it really interesting that her choice of words were, if you're not fighting to keep me. Let's start with that. So normally when you talk about relationships, I'm talking about exclusive, committed kinds of relationships, you would actually say you would fight for someone. But in this case, I just found it interesting that she said, if you are not fighting to keep me, if you don't fight to keep me. And what that tells me is that if somebody has to fight to keep you, that means you have the intention of leaving that relationship. And so that in itself has a lot to say already. I don't know if there's been like a lot of arguments throughout the relationship, a lot of problems throughout the relationship, whatever the case may be, whether you're just entering in a relationship or you are in the relationship, you guys are having problems. Having that kind of mentality is not healthy, especially if you're coming into a relationship, because the idea is that before you get into a relationship, before you commit to somebody, you have already vetted, with the best of your ability, you have already vetted who your partner is going to be. With that said, you're already judging their character, you're already judging their personality when you are in that dating, talking phase, whatever it is. But before you say yes to that person. And so when you are in that relationship, I'm not saying it's always going to work out. No, that's completely different. But being on the same page is really important. So if you are placing onto somebody else this kind of standard of like, you have to fight to keep me, you are basically saying that this person has to always be on their toes to keep you in the relationship. But that's not healthy, in the sense that you want this person to be on their toes not out of love, out of fear, right? Because it's to fight to keep you in the relationship. That means it's on the basis or on the premise of you potentially leaving the relationship. I'm not talking about toxic relationships. I'm talking about the mentality going into a committed relationship. So if that's the standard or the test that you're holding onto someone to see if that person is the right one for you, is basically a setup for failure. Basically, if he is fighting to keep me, I have the intention of wanting to leave. Now, you would have to ask, why do you want to leave in the first place? Did you see red flags? If that's the case, you should just exit. Even if he fights for you, just exit that relationship. Like, it has nothing to do with him fighting to keep you, because yes, somebody could fight to keep you, but he also gave you so many reasons to walk away from that relationship. So if that's your standard or your measuring system, as to whether the person is the one for you, it already doesn't work in that sense, because if it's a toxic relationship, there are red flags. You need to get out of there even if he's fighting to keep you. Now, the other fault I see with this particular statement is... Okay, let me just play this again.
Here's the thing. If you're not fighting to keep me, I'm not fighting to make you stay.
I find it funny that in the same breath, it's like, if you're not fighting to keep me, I'm not fighting to make you stay. In other words, mandatory for you, conditional for me. So that's already placing both parties at an imbalance. One is here, one is here, which suggests a power struggle. Why? Because if I'm the person that he's fighting to keep in the relationship, who has the upper hand? I do, right? And if the roles were reversed and I'm fighting to keep him in the relationship, he has the hold over me, which already sets up a bad dynamic in the relationship. You are more so looking as to who has the advantage over who in the relationship, which is what you don't want, because both parties should be pouring into the relationship, not fighting to see who has the upper hand between the two. And so in that regard already, there's something wrong with that statement. If you're not fighting to keep me, I'm not fighting to make you stay. So unless I see that, I'm not gonna do anything. It doesn't work the same way for this particular statement as it does for others. For example, you might think that that's not always the case. If we said, if I don't see that you are responsible, then I'm not gonna stay. That's different because you should be responsible. That's a given, especially in a committed relationship. Come on now. But if you're not fighting to keep me, it's not the same standard as being responsible in a relationship or being faithful in a relationship. It's not the same. It comes in the same kind of condition, but inherently they're two different things. If you're not fighting to keep me, meaning you're always on your toes, you're always in a position of weakness. I really don't want to use that word, but it's essentially what it is if you're not basically on your knees for me, what's the sense of me staying? That's the essence of being in a power dynamic, is someone is always in a weaker position. I'm not talking about being in a submissive role versus a dominant role. That's a whole different thing, different scope. I'm talking about how you view each other in the relationship and who has the power on who. And when that's the basis of your relationship, or that's your measuring system as to how much a person loves you, you essentially do not love that person, because you're looking more for a power position to have the hold over someone. Because I don't see you on your knees begging me to stay, then you don't love me. That's a position of power. And then the person who is fighting to keep you is in a position of peasantry. No, is in a position of basically having to do everything for you to do something. So anyway, that's what I got from it. Everything that I'm saying is not to disparage, of course, the person or the TikTok that I'm reacting to. It's simply just me listening in and commenting based on what I am hearing and what I am seeing. I have nothing against the people, but I just really want to encourage all of us to think critically when we are looking at something on social media, whether it's about beauty, relationship advice, social media, all of those things, really, because it's very easy for us to just move where the wind blows, but not stop and think about what we are taking in and then build our opinions and conclusions from that. And so with that said, you don't have to agree with me. If you completely disagree, then please, that's completely fine. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Or if you agree, or if you have other thoughts and opinions, leave a comment down below. I would love to read them and see what you guys think. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope that you guys have a great week, and that as we're coming into the holiday season, that you guys are staying safe and that you're able to be with your loved ones. I'll see you guys in the next one.